Hello and welcome to the Retro Sentai Wrap Up, the show here on the Illuminerdi where we discuss some of the older episodes in Super Sentai. We're starting off with Choujin Sentai Jetman and then moving on past that. I am one of your hosts, Bryce West, a writer and editor for the Illuminerdi.com, and these are your other hosts.
What up, guys? Blackwing 2040 back again to talk about some more Jetman, and I can honestly say this batch of episodes was not the best batch of episodes. It was.
Wow, starting off strong, Blackwing.
I'm sorry.
You could
I'm
have told them
sorry.
that
I'm
after the show
sorry.
got started a little bit. No.
I had to be. I had to be brutally honest. Sometimes I don't like being blunt and honest, but sometimes you have to.
Yeah, no, I understand for sure. These were definitely well, a lot of these were definitely a chore to get through.
Hi, I'm Ian Klingler, and usually I forget what my intro is, so I have to improv every single time because I usually forget at the start of every single episode. But we're back here for more Jetman, and like Blackwing said, these
Yeah. There
episodes.
was one
You
good
got you
episode.
gotta do it like Mordecai and Rigby from regular show. Ah.
Oh, oh.
What is up, everybody? We've got I don't know if I'm gonna pronounce this right, but we got Inez in the chat. We've got Thomas Franco in the chat. We also got Jezer, one of the hosts of the Ranger Wrap Up here on the Illuminati. What's
Sir.
going on, Jezer?
Hey.
Guys, as you can tell by our introduction, we have got an action packed show for you all today. Um, um, so yeah, I think we should just get it started off with whoops, now I didn't have it. I had it pulled up and now I don't have it pulled up anymore. Episode 19, I can see. The quick little
That's a weird episode title too.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is the thumbnail episode with Kaori in the coffin. I saw that was the main image on Ranger Wiki. I'm like, yep, that's the thumbnail.
Wow.
You
Good
know,
choice. Good image choice.
like that is just a perfect thumbnail image, just like one of those like, what the hell is going on? Like kind of
Like if
things.
this is your first episode watching Jetman, like
Yeah.
this is like
Like
what
this
is this?
This is your first time on the channel. It's like, you see this, you just see this pop up in your subscription feed or whatever. And then it's just like a friggin' ranger in a coffin. Uh, but yeah, Kaori loses her mind whenever she is manipulated by a fortune telling dimension beast who claims it can see her death. And right off the bat, this is the good episode of this batch. But right off the bat, I do have a problem. And they're kind of like walking down the street, and they get this call from the fortune teller, and they go, Jetman, come inside my fortune telling whatever. And then they go, oh, okay. And then I'm going, wait a minute, shouldn't they be concerned
that
that
someone knows who they are.
that they
Yeah.
know who they are? Because I mean, up until this point, they've had somewhat of a secret identity. They haven't been doing a great job at it,
Right.
but you know, they haven't been known to the public. You know, and so it's just like they are not at all concerned that they know exactly who they are. And it gets even better because they go inside the fortune teller building or whatever. And it's just like you would think that they would learn at this point that this is like no good, like already. Uh, but they go in, and as if them knowing that her knowing that they were the Jetman wasn't enough, she calls Kaori by her full name. Like she
First and last name.
yes.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, guys, like this is a bad guy. Like she she knows Kaori by her full name. Not only does she
Yeah.
know that they are the Jetman, but she knows her by full name. It was just like, okay, guys, like this is no good. Like
Yeah.
come on. Like how many times are you guys gonna get duped by these obvious villains. It's just like, you know, the Fantastic Four. Their best friend is a guy named Victor Von Doom. Like, what are they thinking? Like, you know, like, you know, unbelievable. Anyway, the rest of this episode was actually pretty good though. Because the fortune teller tells Kaori that she's like doomed. All right, like she's gonna die. And this like really starts to freak out Kaori. She says that she's gonna see a doll crying or whatever, and she walks into her room, and this doll is seemingly crying, but it's actually just a faucet leak that is kind of dripping on the doll to make it look like it was crying. And then she also told her to watch out for cars, and then she gets hit by a toy car, and then she almost gets hit by like a car, like a big sign with a car on it, and then
Yeah.
she almost gets hit by an actual car. And so yeah, Kaori's I think it's safe to say she's pretty freaked out
Yeah.
at this point. And so she goes back because she's kind of listening now. She's like, okay, I think this fortune teller might know what's going on. And the fortune teller kind of gives her this vision, and she's in a battle and she is killed. Um and it shows her being killed by Maria, and then it automatically cuts to her in a coffin. And for me, this is another one like Kaori. Like there are no jump cuts in Vision. Like like, you know, like you can't it's literally her like already in the coffin while still in the battlefield. It's like, Kaori, like, do you really think that they had a coffin prepared for you? Like the Vyram or they brought the coffin like ready to go, like like it's just like, can you imagine, like they bring coffins like to every battle just in case one of them falls.
Yep.
It's like, okay, this is obviously not real, but she believes it's real anyway. So now she's really freaked out. Like she doesn't want to go out into battle anymore. She doesn't want to help out. She doesn't want to transform or anything. And so she's kind of just you know, sitting at home with her butler or whatever. And the other jetmen are being attacked by, surprise, the fortune teller dimension. It was a monster the whole time.
I thought that was Maria the whole time that was talking to Kaori the whole time. To be honest,
it was her monster. She made it. So
yeah.
So kind of. I mean, I think they were still kind of they were telling the monster what to say.
Yeah, sure.
But so I mean, yeah. I mean, it was their plan for sure. But yeah, and so they're being attacked, and the butler attacks Kaori.
This is why I always like when a show has like a butler character, a really good one and a caring one, because the butler is always such a great character.
Yeah, this is definitely a very Alfred-like character to Kaori, because the butler starts kind of attacking, not really in a bad way, but hey, get snap out of this, let's go.
Get a grip.
Yeah, you know,
get yourself together.
So they're doing like sword fights with like wooden swords or whatever, and then he reminds her of this time that she gave him the doll from earlier, and how he gave her a set of rules, and they do rules 1 through 3, and then they skip to rule 9, and then rule 9 was like, I will do, or something like that, and it's just like, I will do
said,
what?
like, I will do with what I must do. I'm like,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because on the sub, for me, all it said was, I will do. And I was just like, we'll do what? like what does that mean? Like, it's like, so yeah, I think my sub got messed up. But it was the one on Tubi, so it should have been right. But
yeah, I'm pretty sure she said I will do what I must.
Yeah, okay. Well, that makes more sense. That sounds right. So, but yeah, so I will do what I must. And so she gets up, she goes back, transforms, helps the Jetman, and they do their little swing dash, and are able to defeat the fortune teller dimension. and there's no mecha
Yeah, no
battle.
Megazord battle. No Megazord
Yeah.
battle this episode.
And then what was the ending? I always forget those ending scenes.
She
Oh,
invited
they're at the
the whole team.
mansion, right?
Yep.
And they're going. Are they going to the opera?
They
Or
don't say where they were.
they're
Like,
going to somewhere. They're all dressed up and they're going somewhere, and that's it. Guy says something, and then Raita says something, and then Guy pushes Raita or something. Just
Guy is such a jerk.
Typical Jetman stuff. And yeah, I think that pretty much is it for the episode. Honestly, guys, this is probably going to be a really short episode because really not a lot happened in any of these episodes.
No.
So this is probably going to be one of the shorter episodes that we've done of the show. We've got Edward Sanchez in the chat and Eddie's Toys in the chat. What's up, guys? But yeah, this episode, in my eyes, compared to the other two, is a 5 out of 5. But honestly, it's probably actually a 3 for me. 3 bird eggs out of 5.
I was thinking the same thing. I was gonna give it a 2.5, but like, actually, no. I mean, the fact that
we gotta save the criticism for the next two. I think.
Yeah. The fact that this episode was kind of pretty trippy as it is, I gotta give it a 3.
It's middle of the road.
Yeah.
And it's it's not really good middle. It's not bad middle. It's just really middle.
Average.
Yeah.
It's just
very average. It was a good thumbnail.
Yeah, that was probably the best part about that whole episode was just that thumbnail.
That was the best part out of all of these episodes was the thumbnail.
No, I'm in agreement with both of you guys, so I'll give it 3 out of 5. So
yeah, and just a reminder for all you guys, we do have a super chat feature here on the channel. It's definitely not required, but if it's something that you guys want to do, definitely feel free. We'll be reading the chat throughout the show, but you know, there might be stuff that we miss, but we will definitely be sure to take a look at it with the super chat. It just really guarantees that your message will be read is all, and so definitely just a quick reminder of that feature, and be sure to let us know your thoughts on episode 19. I Can See. Yeah, I don't really get the name of that
again.
episode.
That's the weirdest episode title ever.
I'm guessing it's like
I can see the future.
Yeah,
like, well,
yeah, I can see the future.
Yeah, we just said the exact same thing. But
I was just thinking back to that episode of Fairly Odd Parents with that kid who was like, "I can see, I can fight."
Yeah. But yeah, so this episode is definitely very mediocre, but you know what's not mediocre? The next two. So who's doing it? Blackwing?
Yeah, I'll take this one. This episode, I'll admit, was a little bit better than the previous one because for all you guy lovers, this is a guy-focused episode. And usually, if it's a guy-focused episode, it's either a dual focus with Ryu and Kaori, or, you know, an episode focused strictly on Guy. But if I'm gonna be honest, I think this gotta be like our first one that's actually strictly just him focused on.
Yeah.
Wow, that is very interesting. I just realized that. So yeah, the plot of this episode, a lot of weddings are happening, and apparently as soon as the wedding ends, the bride gets the love from the bride gets sucked up by a vacuum monster from the ballroom, and it causes all the weddings to go haywire. So this one little girl whose sister is getting married to, who just got married to her husband, she says, "I don't love you anymore." Her sister gets upset and sad, and she's taking pictures, and she sees that a vacuum kind of sucked the love right out of her. I'll give props to this though, for the kid to be very investigative. I'll give props to that. That was actually very interesting to see. So she sees the other weddings getting, the other brides are getting their love sucked out of them, and then she also runs into Guy, who saves her from getting hit by a truck, and Guy still has that birdonic strength.
He doesn't. I was gonna say he doesn't just save her from getting hit by the truck. He stops the truck.
Stops it. Yeah.
Full on stops the truck with that birdonic strength. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. They all still got that super strength.
Yeah.
So So the kid tells Guy what's been going on. Guy's like, oh, I'm impressed that you can do this, but I'm not interested. And so it basically, again, more weddings are getting interrupted, and then the other Jetmen are asking Guy, like, what's the situation with you and this kid? Like, I don't know, I don't care, leave me alone about it. And then moments later, she's up at a high point at a building, and broadcasting on the news is broadcasting, and she's saying like, I won't come down unless Yuki Guy shows up. I'm like, Guy's like, that kid. He gets his
Those
whole name
meddling kids.
Yeah, his whole name just got blown up on the news feeds of Japan. So he helps her out, but he can't take it because he's just so annoyed by her. And Kaori tells him that I think it's because she really likes you. I'm like, he's like, what do you mean by like? I'm not interested in her. I'm like, I get I'm probably a womanizer, but I'm not He's like, I don't do kids. Like, I was like, I ain't part of that kid's life. He's like, I'm not part of that kid's life. So anyway,
we'll see once we get to the end of the episode.
Yeah, we'll see. So anyway, the monster shows up again. The Rangers get jumped, and of course they devise a plan to have a fake wedding. Instead, you have Guy getting fake married to Akko, and you have Raita, Ryu, and Kaori checking outside to make sure the monster shows up. And then the kid is looking at another part of the church inside the window, seeing that Guy's about to get married, but she kind of interrupts the plan. It kind of works, but it fails in the process because her love gets sucked out of her, and then she just faints. And so Guy realizes that, okay, maybe this monster sucking up the love out of everybody is a piece of crap. And I think this is probably one of the most famous Guy moments, because you just see him walking slowly. You don't even see him say cross change. He just instantly morphs into a suit. Just pretty much goes full ham on the monster. And I think the song that's playing during the scene, I think that's got to be the actor that's singing the song, because it's strictly about him. And usually with intro songs like this, it's usually like the actor that's singing like their own theme song. So
really,
yeah,
I did not know that.
I mean, it's just a guess. I'm not sure if it is the actual actor singing that song, but it's just a guess. But usually the case when it's like a focus, like it's a deep one-on-one battle between a ranger and a monster, and it's a specific ranger. I think it's usually always the actor singing that specific.
Let me see if I can. I
looked it up. Hono no Condor, sung by the actor who played Guy, Toshidi Wakamatsu.
Yeah, cool. Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It was a good song too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Best part of the episode.
Exactly. That's why it says this is definitely one of Guy's best moments. And I find it funny though how when the monster grows bigger, how he jumps to try and fight it. I was like, all right, Guy, you had your moment.
Oh yeah.
I like to imagine that that is actually Guy singing while fighting the monster. Like while he's fighting the monster, he's actually singing the song.
He's like
in the story.
I was just like, what the heck is he doing? Like, why is he singing?
Yeah. Like, he's singing?
Like, why? Yeah.
But yeah, I just found it funny though how he tries to jump and fight the monster as he grew bigger. I was like, okay, Guy, you had your moment when he was on the ground. Now you have to take him out as a team. So yeah, the Megazord battle happens. They defeat the monster. The day is saved. All the love that was sucked out was traveled back to the brides, and the sister apologizes to her younger sister, saying that for what happened, and now they officially got married and everything. And then Guy and the kid kind of reconcile, saying thank you and I appreciate it. And she's like, I wish you were 10 years younger. And then Guy was like, I wish you were 10 years older. Like, whoa!
Like, dude, like,
whoa.
Dude, I was literally like, did he just say that? Like, I was just like, bro. Like, and he did have a little smile on his face, so I don't, like, it definitely wasn't serious. It was like, it was definitely not in that way,
It was a cheeky moment, that's what it kind of was.
It was just like, yeah, you're a nice kid.
But
still, the phrasing of it was
like maybe
he could have, because it was cute whenever the little girl said it to Guy, because it's like, oh, okay, the little girl has a crush on Guy, that's cute.
Yeah.
But then Guy says, yeah, I wish you were 10 years old. It's like, dude,
Like,
No!
you can't say that.
like that's a freaking kid. Sheesh. But
Like, oh my
anyway,
gosh.
this episode for me, I may give it a 3.5. I can't really go any higher than that. It's a 3.5. I can say though, for me, it kind of reminded me of that episode from Samurai where they were trying to stop weddings from happening and everything. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but this episode gets a 3.5 for me. That's all it is. As far as a focus episode for Guy, it's decent, but nothing else really happens outside of that.
Yeah, I would probably have to give it 3.5 as well, mainly because the connection between the little girl was just like pushing Guy to like, please just come on and help me, like please, like I would do anything for you, and then like having the crush and all that. I thought that was really, really sweet, but then Guy kind of turned it into a weird twist that was like,
Yeah.
okay, but
He's like, yeah, leave
nonetheless,
it to Guy to make it weird.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But nonetheless, a good filler episode. I would give it 3.5 as well.
So I hated it.
So,
So I'm giving it a 1.
oh boy.
I was bored out of my freaking mind watching this episode. Like watching all these episodes. Like by the end of the next episode, which is probably even worse.
Yeah.
I just gave this one a 1. And so yeah, I mean, by the end of these 3 episodes, I was ready to be done. Like I was just like, I can't watch anymore. Like this is
I agree with you on
that. And so we haven't had that before with this show. I mean we're
Yeah.
20 episodes in, and this is our first like, okay, this is a dud. At least for me. It doesn't seem like it was as big of a dud to you two. But yeah, I was bored out of my flipping mind. At least the next one was a little more ridiculous. So it kept me engaged a little more because it was just like, what am I watching? But with this episode, it's just I wasn't really engaged with the plot. The cool stuff with the episode Guy just made weird. And so I get that is partially his character, but a lot of the times it's just like Guy as a character, not even just as a character, but some of the writing really like it goes like, okay, wow, like that's far. Like you know, and so yeah, I definitely did not enjoy this one. I was not engaged with the plot at all. And so yeah, I give it a 1.
Understood. Understandable.
But now,
All right.
but the title was pretty funny. What was it? The marriage vacuum.
Yeah,
Like,
the marriage vacuum cleaner.
What a
Marriage
ridiculous
vacuum.
concept. Not as but
Oh.
now we got episode 21, walking garbage, and
Oh,
I think that
man.
pretty much describes the episode pretty well.
Yeah.
This was terrible, guys. Like Ian, go ahead.
Oh, this was.
Ian,
This
this is all yours.
This was so bad. So it starts off at a garbage facility where Akko runs into like the garbage man. So he's like, "Here, put this teddy bear in it." So he throws teddy bear in the garbage truck, and she's carrying like a bell or whatever. And then, or no, she dropped the bell dropped or something like that. And so I think it was like Tran was like so mad that like you can't even like beat Jetman, whatever. And then he takes like the dimensional bug from her and then flings it away into Earth, and it lands on a piece of garbage, and it lands on Akko's teddy bear, and then it somehow like reacts to it or whatever, and then Akko's like, "Oh, I can't believe I just threw away my teddy bear. Like I've had it since I was like a child." I was like, "What the?" At that point, I'm just like, "What is going on with this episode?
Yeah.
What is this?"
We're already off to a great start.
And then afterwards, it cuts to a giant thing, bare head, trash, like from the neck down. Like it is just complete garbage
With one dangling
like,
eyeball.
I'm like, what? I'm like, oh my gosh. And like the they're calling it the trash dimension. So the trash dimension's like, hi, you want to be friends? And everybody's like, it's a Virum, get away from it, run. And then he like fixes stuff. So like a boy like drops its like toy or whatever. So he like builds it back up, and then what happens? Like somebody tries to run from like a car, like tries to get in the car and goes, but it doesn't work, and so he like makes it a brand new car, and he just drives away. So he's like, why? He's like, why is everybody mad at me? And then Maria comes down, and she's like, all right, your time is over. Like, I understand you made fun of me. Now I have to kill you. And then Akko shows up somehow, perfectly timed, and then she's like, "Oh my gosh, it's Maria and Aviram. Like, I'm gonna beat it up." And then the trash dimension goes right behind her. It's just like, "Protect me, please! Like, I don't want to be hurt." And I'm like, and she's just like, "Okay, what the heck is going on?" And I was at that same point. I'm just thinking, what the heck is going on with this episode? So.
That's pretty much the whole episode, yeah.
Yeah, this whole episode, and so they get Maria away, so she like escapes or whatever. She's like, I don't want to deal with all you. And then because Akko had the bell, the trash dimension realized it, and she's like, Mama, I'm like, oh no, we're not doing this. As soon as that happened, I said, we're not doing this. No, and it happened. And so Akko was trying to like leave and like doesn't want to be with the trash dimension because it like smells so bad. And then what just happened? Oh yeah.
Well, they take him to the one place.
Yeah, they take him to the dump.
Yeah, the dump.
So he can like eat or whatever.
Yeah.
Because he was hungry or whatever. And then the person who was running like the dump was like, yeah, he can live here. Like,
I can use a friend.
Yeah, I could. It's fine. And then they realized that people are wasting like plastics and food waste or whatever, like some like really brand new goods or whatever. And so the trash dimension was so mad. And he like chucks them back over to them. He's just like, you need to keep the stuff, and they just get scared and run right back away. And they really have, it's really weird. And then people like destroy, and then it like goes to night, and like the trash dimension is sleeping, and then they like destroy his house or whatever. And then it cuts to morning for some reason. And they're like, why are people mad at me? And then Maria shows up and like, that's what humans are. And then he gets mad. And then he turns into a giant monster. And so all the Jetmen are like, we need to stop him with the jet machines or whatever. And Akko's like, no, we can't do that. It's not worth it. And then afterwards, Akko... she's like, I can't do it. He's a monster, and so she goes into her jet machine, and then they start beating Trash Dimension up with Jet Icarus, and then somehow this girl is still out in the middle of the street. This young girl with no parental supervision whatsoever. It's just like, what's going on? And then a building falls, and then Akko has to jump out and like save her. And then Maria's like telling Trash Dimension like finish her off, and so he like comes up with this giant step, and then the little girl yells, "Mama!" I'm like, no, not again. And yep. And so the Trash Dimension goes back to normal and like shrinks down to its normal size. But then Maria's just like, you know what? I've had enough of you, and kills it. And then like it disappears and like is disintegrated or whatever, and then it cuts to the dump and it's like a giant cross, like it's a memorial. I'm like,
Yeah,
it's a freaking teddy bear. Like,
I'll give you a note on that. But continue. I'll give you a note on that.
I mean, that was really it, because like she tied like the bell and it's like she's at peace or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
but then the guys come back and dump more trash, and then they start yelling at them, and then it just ends. They go,
Yeah.
"Hey!" And then
Yeah, that was
they
a weird
shut
way
it
to
off.
end it. Like, I was like, wait, I had
It's
to
such a weird
rewind it.
ending.
I had to rewind it twice. I'm like, wait, that's it? That's
Yeah. Yeah.
There's like they were angry. They were like, like,
I'm like, that's it?
and then they just cut it off.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
Like,
What a way to end this episode. Holy
yeah. So yeah, the reason why they made like a memorial cross for the trash dimension in Sentai, usually whenever something dies, whether it be like a person, a machine, an android, or like, anything, wherever the spot the character died off at, they always put like a cross where it is and they pay their respects. That's pretty much I wouldn't say like a trope, but it's
They haven't done it for the other viral.
no, basically it's like
I know. Yeah.
like characters who are pretty much who like work for the bad guys or like allies of them, and then they just get they get killed. They just create a memorial for them and they just pay their respects. And
once again, before we give our rankings for the episode, another quick reminder that we do have a super chat feature here on the channel. It really helps out the show a lot. So if you have any questions or a comment that you really want to get to us, we'll definitely be sure to read it. So yeah, be sure to check that out. Is that something you want to do?
Yeah. So one of the things I looked up just before the show was, I was like, man, the person who did Trash Dimension sounds very familiar. And so I looked it up. It is Raika Matsumoto, the person who did the original voicing of Ash Ketchum in
No way!
Are you serious?
No way!
I'm not
That's
kidding.
crazy.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
She actually sings the theme song for Kamen Rider Ryuki as well. So I was just like, really? That's amazing.
That is actually a really cool fact, Ian. Good job on that. Holy cow.
Woo-hoo.
That's
awesome. But nonetheless, this episode was awful. If I could give it a negative, I would out of 5, but can I just give it a 0? Like,
yep.
That's how I feel about this episode. It's just a 0 out of 5. Like, it was just not great whatsoever. Like, I like the fun fact that Trash Dimension was Ash Ketchum, but other than that, like, just nothing.
Yeah, I agree. This episode I would give it a 1. That's just me being nice, but but yeah, I did not like this episode. Like you said, Bryce, by the time I got to this episode, I was done. I was just done with
yeah.
So you're giving it a 1?
Yeah, I'm giving it a 1.
So I'm gonna give this one a 5, a negative 5, but a 5. Yeah, it was terrible. It was awful. Yeah, definitely the worst episode of the show so far. I originally thought that the other one was worse, but yeah, as we talked about it, it was a little better. But yeah, this episode. Oh my gosh. Like, the ramen noodle episode was just as ridiculous, but it had charm to it.
Yeah.
Right.
This is just, oh my gosh.
This is the opposite, the complete opposite.
Yeah, this was a terrible, horrible episode. I mean, can we talk about how Akko always gets the worst focus episodes?
She gets the short end of the stick.
I thought about that.
I thought about that last night. She really gets the short end of the stick in the show. A lot.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I
haven't gotten a good writer focus episode. Come on, where's my man writer? Come on.
Yeah, I think you missed it. I think that was whenever you were gone.
Yeah, I think that was the mud episode. That was like the
that
that's like the
that was a good one.
Yeah, that was the one
That was
focus
decent.
episode of Bryce.
It's a 5 out of 5 compared to the trash episode.
Yeah,
I
true.
can't remember what we ranked it, but
I think we rated it like a 5 out of 5 just of how complete, utterly ridiculous it was.
well, no, man, I think we did that with the ramen episode.
Yeah, we did it with the ramen noodles episode.
Yeah, the ramen noodle up. Well, I mean that's just a 5 out of 5 regardless. I think.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't quite beat Ryu's grandma for me, but I still think that they probably should have done the whole Sixth Ranger thing a year early. Maybe have Ryu's grandma come in as the Green Ranger. Yeah. Oh, she could have come back in Jew Ranger. And the actress who played Ryu's grandma could have played Burai.
Whatever. I'm just thinking of just how utterly ridiculous that is.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Ryu's grandma never comes back, and I don't think the actress ever returns either.
No.
That is a shame.
Oh well.
I mean, I don't know if Japan does Emmys or anything, or if they have anything like that. But I think that was definitely an Emmy-worthy performance from Ryu's grandma.
Best guest character.
Yeah, should have been a main character, honestly. Probably in
a recurring. She should have been like a recurring role, like the butler.
Yeah, honestly, oh my gosh, I would.
Oh yeah,
like not joking anymore. Like I would have loved that, like unironically, like that would have been a lot of fun. I think that would have added a lot more comedic moments to the show.
Yeah,
like I think I would have really enjoyed that. Like not even part of the bit anymore. Like I think that would have been pretty cool. But this episode or this week kind of stank. But I think next week, hopefully, Jetman is going to redeem themselves. Does anybody have the next week give next week's episode pulled up to give us a little bit of a sneak peek?
I did backtracking before we got started. So the next batch of episodes is the first one is going to be a love triangle focus episode, which is going to be again focused on Guy, Ryu, and Kaori.
Oh, that's interesting. We haven't had one of those yet.
Yeah, and the next two are going to be two-parters, which is going to be focusing on a group of soldiers from another dimensions, and one of those soldiers is actually going to be our next Blue Ranger in the next season of Sentai after succeeding Jetman.
Yeah. So we're getting an extra hero next week. His name is Birdman Dan, just Dan, but then. Get this. So the same actor comes back to play the Blue Ranger in Jew Ranger, also named Dan.
Dan.
Same name, different character. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to next week's episode. Birdman Dan. That's always been a character that's kind of eluded me. Because I've always known that the character existed, but I've never seen anything with the character because spoiler, I mean it's not really a spoiler. I mean a lot of those extra heroes didn't really stick around for very long because they weren't really doing the six Ranger stuff. But this is just a temporary thing. I mean just like other prototype sixths or whatever you want to call it. But I'm really looking forward to seeing Birdman Dan and the rest of the Birdman crew.
You may like him. I think you may like Dan a lot.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, there is a little bit of a connection with Akko there as well. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So Akko is going to be getting another focus episode next week. So maybe this one. Yeah,
this is going to be fine. This is finally going to be it, folks. I think
it's probably going to be a better batch of episodes next week and a better focus episode for Akko because her focus episodes just seemed a little. Her focus episodes as a whole always seem to be a little weak.
The only good one, of course, was the ramen noodle episode, 5 out of 5.
Yes. Yes.
But
speaking of previous episodes, since I wasn't here last week, I'll share my.
Oh shoot! I completely forgot.
No, it's cool.
Yeah, we were gonna do that at the beginning. I'm
it's
glad you
not.
brought that up. I'm sorry
Yeah,
about that. I wanted
yeah.
to do that. I wanted to do that at the beginning. But I guess since we haven't done it yet, we'll go ahead.
Yeah, we'll do it now. So,
Yeah.
I'll share my thoughts on the story focus episodes because I didn't care about the filler ones.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't even
the
remember what they were, and it was only a
yeah,
week ago.
yeah, me neither. I just remember the Akko one, and oh yeah, it was one with Akko and her friend from school, and
Oh, right.
the
Yeah.
episode,
Oh, the voice one.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the one with Ryu and the girl who was playing the ocarina. I didn't.
Yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
good one, but it just didn't grab my attention. But these
Yeah,
two
it was
episodes
boring.
with
Yeah.
Empress Juza and Radiguet, those were oh my gosh, those episodes were
Yeah.
so incredible. So this one moment from the episode, and it stays in my mind ever since I watched the scene where Guy takes Kaori into the elevator just to have a conversation. I'm just like, this is 20. I'm watching this in 2019. I'm like, this is not gonna fly in today's audience whatsoever.
Yeah.
No bit right here. I'm like,
Pretty much anything Guy does doesn't fly in
Yeah.
2021.
I'm just like, this whole moment, I'm like, this is not gonna fly in today's audience at whatsoever. Like,
yeah, I remember, I remember my dad was in the room while I was watching, and he's like, that's assault. He's like,
I'm like, even I'm getting uncomfortable with this. I'm
yeah,
like, why?
I get uncomfortable with pretty much anything Guy does with a woman. Like it, yeah. I mean, different time. It definitely wasn't okay back then either. I'm not saying that, but
Yeah.
yeah, Guy is definitely a
He,
piece of work.
he's a once in a lifetime ranger that we're never gonna see again.
Yeah, a good thing.
No.
Yeah.
I think I do understand that
Yeah.
the guy does progress as a character, and so
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. But yeah, we definitely I'm glad this is kind of a one time deal because this is yeah. But keep going.
I love the bits with Empress Juza and Radiguet because when she comes back, it's revealed that she is the real leader of the Vyram.
Yeah.
And because the first time I was watching this episode 2 years ago, I'm like, wait a minute, so she's the real leader. Where has she been all this time? And Radiguet's like, like how dare she show back up after all these years leaving us high and dry. All these years she's just recuperating and she's just come back and take charge from me. That ain't gonna work. So I like how he just takes matters into his own hands. And it's funny how Gray, Maria, and Tran are like on the other side of the room peeking out. I'm like, yo, what's he doing? Like, is he really gonna do that? And she straight up removes his powers from him and just turns him into a human. Like, you will live for the rest of your day as a human being. The beings that you despise so much. I'm just like, wow. And the others is just like, yeah, we're not gonna mess with her. Let's leave her alone. She's in charge. Juza has to do what she needs to do. And I forgot about her other monster form that she had. I totally forgot about that.
That was
I was
creepy.
like, whoa. I was like, that is terrifying. Like, really terrifying. And this power that she's doing, she's incubating an egg of a certain, a demonic beast that she's trying to awaken called Semimaru. I totally forgot about that, too. So, in the second part where Radiguet is just pretty much living as a human, he meets a girl who's pretty much sick. He has a little bit of his powers, but his memory is gone. But he actually heals the girl of her powers. I mean, of her illness. But he doesn't know. He never knew how he did it. So when Juza shows back up again, he gets frightened, and then all of a sudden he remembers, like, wait a minute, I know who I am. Like, Juza, I'm gonna kill you. Yeah. And he tells the Jetman, I'm like, Jetman, aim for the gem that's on her forehead. I'm like, and straight the Jetmen are like, okay, we'll do it. I was like, they didn't even question it or nothing. They just went ahead.
No, I really loved the Vyram teaming up with the Jetmen in that episode. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was really incredible. Just
like
they didn't
like it was the 5 Vyram and the 5 Jetmen going up against Juza, and that was so cool.
Yep, and they just mop the floor with Juza. She gets defeated. Radiguet kills her. He takes the egg that she was creating. The girl that was kind of in love with Radiguet comes back to him. It's like, what about the feelings that you had for me? And I love this bit, how he's just like, I never had feelings for you. I'm a Vyram through and through. And he just kills her. I'm just like, that is just sad.
Brutal. That was brutal. I could not believe that they did that. Like, I was just like they just straight up killed her, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like
out mercy, no mercy whatsoever. Just such coldness in his heart, and just like, I don't remember. He's like, I don't remember what you're talking about.
That was crazy, man.
But yeah, I love those 2 episodes. Those are like one of my favorite batch of episodes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I
Those were
didn't
awesome.
even talk about the fact that guy had like a near-death experience of.
Yeah, and Guy dies. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just I forgot how gruesome it was to
Dude,
see
yeah. Oh my
those,
Oh
gosh.
yeah.
That
those
made me sick,
yeah,
man.
all
Like,
those
Yeah.
crystals just piercing out of people's bodies. I'm like, oh my god.
yeah.
It just,
Ugh.
Oh man.
oof.
Real quick before we
Not for
go,
me.
Thomas Franco asks, what Sentai are you all gonna review after Jetman? Well, if we can get our hands on the Jetman manga that they did and a translated version, I think that'd be really cool to cover. And then after that, it will more than likely be Jew Ranger.
Yep.
And then he also asks you, Blackwing, since you did a Power Ranger marathon last year, would you do a Super Sentai marathon?
Hell no. Hell no. Hell. There's like 45 seasons of Sentai right now. I am currently watching them as we speak. I am not doing a marathon from Go Ranger all the way to current. You have to pay me, I don't know how much money to do that, but no.
Yeah, if you set up an Indiegogo, would you do it?
If you
Or a GoFundMe?
maybe. But no, hell to the no. I am not gonna do that.
Yeah, Power
Absolutely.
Rangers is even like that's like
That
20,
was
28
look,
seasons right now.
the fact that I even did that, I am not doing that again. Never doing that
Yeah.
again.
Yeah,
Never.
that's a
ever.
lot.
And
But
especially since every Sentai season is like 50
yeah,
to
it's
50
even longer. Yeah,
yeah, 50 to 51 episodes per season. Like nope, not doing
yeah.
it.
Because
Not
Power Rangers for the past 10 years has been like 22. So
yeah.
yeah, I think that wraps things up for today's episode of the Retro Sentai wrap up here on the Illuminerdi. Blackwing, Ian, do you guys have any parting thoughts?
Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, you know the drill. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and click that bell to be notified. And as always, we appreciate you guys viewing. All of you coming here to enjoy Super Sentai with us. It's great, and it's also great to share experience with people who are new to Sentai, who who just never really took interest to this, especially with a season that kind of predated the show that gave us Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in the States. And I'm having a blast. We're almost at the halfway point, and it's a really great journey. Really great journey. There's still a lot other seasons out there that I can't wait to cover. But of course, we just got to take these things, one step at a time.
Yeah, I mean, I hope the next episodes are going to be a lot better. They probably will be a lot better
It's gonna
next
be hard
week
to
than
be
was.
worse. It's gonna with a
Also,
with a
something you got-
1, a 0, and a -5 out of 5.
Yeah.
How can you top that?
Yeah. But nonetheless, follow these guys. I think it's nope. Wait, hang on. I'm trying to get
Yeah,
it.
it's
There
right
you
there.
go.
You
Follow
got it.
these guys. Their social medias up there.
Yeah.
There you go. They guys got
Yep.
social medias. I don't have any, but it doesn't really matter to me. But go check those guys out because they do a heck of a job on social media and as well as on Illuminerdi. But that's about all I got.
For Ian's lack of a social media, he'll just promote ours, Blackwing.
Yes,
But
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Subscribe today.
Ding.
But yeah, I mean that pretty much concludes this week's episode of the Retro Sentai Wrap Up here on the Illuminerdi. Be sure to subscribe and turn on those post notifications to be notified of all of our other shows coming on here at the Illuminerdi. We've got the Ranger Wrap Up, the Retro Ranger Wrap Up, the Sentai Wrap Up, where they're going over Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger right now. And of course, we got this show as well within the Power Rangers universe. And we've got a bunch of other shows for you guys to watch. We've got something for pretty much everyone here on the Illuminati. So definitely be sure to subscribe and check out all of our other stuff. Yeah, again, thank you all so much for watching. And remember, we're always watching.
Always watching.
Take care.